JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, businessman shot and robbed in St. Elizabeth. Police have confirmed that a businessman was shot and injured in a robbery at Ballards Valley near Junction in southern St. Elizabeth on Saturday morning. Preliminary reports are that sometime mid-morning the businessman, who police say is Chinese, was driving his motor car when he was attacked by a gunman traveling on a motorcycle on the Ballards Valley main road. The businessman tried to escape but crashed. The gunman opened fire on the vehicle and hit the businessman before reportedly making off with an undisclosed sum of cash. The businessman was taken to hospital for treatment. Medical report for Jinan Panton refused by judge. Former employee at Frauded Stocks and Securities Limited SSL, Jinan Panton, has been remanded in custody until February 24. This following her appearance in the Supreme Court yesterday morning, hours after being charged with larceny as a servant, forgery, uttering forged documents, breaches of the Proceeds of Crime and the Cybercrimes Acts. In court, Panton's attorney Tamika Harris applied for a bail, stressing that her client was not a flight risk. She argued that on January 13 this year, long before the charges, Panton handed in her passport to the police. The attorney further argued that Panton, who appeared in court in a wheelchair, was born with a dislocated hip, which has resulted in a series of 25 surgeries during her lifetime. However, when Harris tried to make the argument that her client was not mobile and therefore not physically capable of running away, Judge Lorna Shelley Williams requested a medical report to substantiate the claims. Attorney Harris presented a medical report, but when it was reviewed by the judge, she deemed the report lacking. The judge then gave Harris until February 24 to provide a medical report supporting her claims before a ruling can be made regarding bail. Meanwhile, the lawyer said there will be challenges with getting the necessary medical reports by next Friday. Speaking with reporters after the morning's court session, Harris noted that among the challenges is that Panton's long-serving doctor had passed away. She said, however, that she'll make every effort to get the appropriate documents. St. Elizabeth farmer charged with illegal gun possession. The police have now charged a St. Elizabeth farmer who was arrested in relation to the seizure of an illegal gun in Bull Savannah, St. Elizabeth, on Thursday. 38-year-old Lamarco Sylvester, otherwise called Otti, a farmer of Delightful district in the parish, is charged with the possession of a prohibited weapon. The police allege that about 2:05 p.m. Thursday, Sylvester was seen driving a motor car along the Bull Savannah main road when he was signaled to stop. He reportedly disobeyed and sped away. The police say they followed closely behind him and observed Sylvester throwing an object from the car. It was reportedly retrieved and discovered to be a .380 Barrester pistol. It was subsequently arrested. Man dies in motor vehicle mishap in Brompton. A man died in a motor vehicle mishap in Brompton, St. Elizabeth, early Saturday morning. The deceased, Tishawn James, of Darlington, Westmoreland, was employed to a funeral home in Newmarket, St. Elizabeth. It's reported that James was at a wake in an area known as Quarry Road in Brompton when about 4:30 a.m. a truck was being reversed and the driver lost control. It collided with a car in which James was sleeping. The car overturned and slid into a ditch with the truck on top. James died at the scene. The driver of the truck was warned for prosecution. Policeman shot in the leg by a motorcyclist during spot check. A policeman is being treated for a bullet wound after he was shot by a gunman traveling on a motorcycle in a section of Grandspen, St. Andrew. The incident took place just meters away from the Grandspen police station. Reports are that the officer was conducting a routine traffic stop when he signaled a motorcyclist to stop. Shots were heard a few minutes later, and it was discovered that the motorcyclist not only ignored the warning of the policeman, but he also pulled a gun and opened fire, hitting the officer. The gunman then left the area. The injured officer was rushed to hospital by his colleagues. A manhunt has since been launched to locate the attacker. The incident comes just months after another policeman was shot and injured by a gunman close to the Central Police Station. Reports are that in November last year, an officer was carrying out a traffic stop when he was shot and injured by gunmen. Just hours before that incident, a police team came under gunfire near the intersection of George and Orange Streets. Alleged SSL fraudsters' assets frozen. The commercial court has granted an order freezing all of the assets of the former Stocks and Securities Limited client relationship manager, Jinan Panton, who is at the center of a multi-billion-dollar fraud at the company. The order was granted on Wednesday after lawyers representing Olympian Usain Bolt made an application for the injunction. Bowles Company Welgen Limited is among the accounts of 39 clients who were allegedly fleeced by Panton. Panton was yesterday charged with breaches of the Larceny Act, forgery, uttering forged documents, falsification of accounts, engaging in a criminal transaction, and breaches of the Cybercrimes Act, and was also remanded when she appeared in the Home Circuit Court. Over $6.1 million was reportedly invested by Welgen Limited over a period of 10 years, but when the fraud was uncovered, a balance of $12,000 was left in the account. Attorney at law Beaker Gordon, who along with his father Linton is representing Bolt, said yesterday, "We can confirm that we obtained a freezing injunction against Ms. Panton. It is on order, which provides that her assets, up to the amount of $6+ million, have been frozen." Additionally, he shared that there is also a production order for her to provide a statement of all her assets, real estate holdings, shares, stocks, etc. The matter will be mentioned on March 15. In the meantime, the Supreme Court has extended an order blocking the directors of Fraudit SSL from winding up the company or liquidating its assets. The order was initially granted on January 25. King's Counsel Caroline Hay, who represents SSL and trustee Cadian Campbell, said the order has been extended to February 28 when another hearing into the matter is scheduled. The order was extended to give the government more time to respond to affidavits filed by defendants in the matter. Justice Stephen Jackson Hasty made the decision yesterday during a hearing involving SSL and the Financial Services Commission, FSC. The case was brought by the FSC against SSL, Campbell, SSL founder Hugh Croskery, and former company directors Lawrence Adamson and Peter Knibb. The injunction has been lifted against Knibb and Adamson because of their resignation as directors. SSL has denied that it sought to wind up the company when it appointed Campbell as trustee. It was the intention of the directors that their powers and authority be vested in the trustee and that the affairs of SSL would be under his control, the company said in a statement issued by its attorneys. The company had said that Campbell, of Phoenix Restructuring, Advisory and Insolvency Services Enterprise, and his team intended to conduct an independent business review and other investigations to determine its financial state as of January 16. The FSC, which regulates brokerages and investment houses, took temporary control of SSL's management and operations on January 17, days after the alleged $3 billion fraud had been publicized. Portland teen charged for allegedly breaking into school and stealing money. A 15-year-old student of Port Antonio, Portland, was charged with schoolhouse breaking and larceny following an incident at a school in the town on Thursday. The Port Antonio police say that about 10:39 p.m., two security guards were doing a compound patrol when they saw the teen and another boy in the school cafeteria. Upon seeing the security guards, they ran in different directions. The security guards gave chase and one of the boys was apprehended while the other escaped. The police were summoned and further checks were made. It was then discovered that $19,670 was missing. The teen was arrested and subsequently charged. Naga jail again, says man who broke ex-girlfriend's windows. A Kingston man on Thursday vowed to never commit any more wrongdoing after he said he was forced to sleep on the floor by hardened criminals while he was in custody for 3 weeks. Omar Golding, during his sentencing hearing, stressed to the judge that his cellmates, who he said were murderers, also beat him after he shared that he was in custody for breaking windows at his ex-girlfriend's home. "I'll learn my lesson, never again. I am so sorry, I won't let it happen again. I can guarantee you that," Golding told Senior Parish Judge Lauren Cole Montague in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court. "How was that for you considering the only thing you can do is mash up window?" the judge queried. "Every day I pray to Father God so I must come out of this," Golding shared. He pleaded guilty on January 24 to malicious destruction of property before the senior jurist. It was shared in court by the complainant that Golding gained entry to the house and used stones to break windows and 2 light bulbs. But Cole Montague remanded him in custody after the complainant said that their relationship had ended as he became abusive, even though Golding maintained that they were still romantically involved. "I remanded you in custody because I don't think you understood that the lady was done with you. It was not just a window that had me concerned, it was the obsessive behavior," the judge told Golding. "I understand now, so the next time I won't do it," the defendant assured her. "See, you really go tell him so window you mash and you're not sell with murderer? But have to put a little spice in the thing," the senior jurist said, evoking laughter in the courtroom. She also contended that she was happy that Golding had a period of discomfort as he needed to have a harsh shock of reality. Cole Montague then warned Golding not to do anything to disturb the complainant's peace of mind, to which he promised that he would not. He was then sentenced to 4 months imprisonment at hard labor, suspended for a year. Golding also paid $30,000 for the damage to the windows. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.